Hello.
Hi.
Good evening. Oh, actually, hello, space dogs. I almost forgot. Wow. Okay. So, this is going to be a little bit no frills. I say as
It's party time!
Yeah.
It's party time though. Yes. This is going to be a little bit no frills. So says I. Now that I just spent I don't know, the last 4 hours like crashing this together.
Yeah.
But
more or less.
Ooh, that's so pretty.
Literally just got everything set up and working and running and
Yeah,
synced
like
up.
10 minutes ago, and
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, let's just do it, because I just want to do it now, and I don't.
Loading in start screen? No, black with white text. Go.
Exactly. Yes, I hadn't made graphics for this yet, and so it's a little bit it's a little low budget, but it'll get better.
That looks great.
But it goes well with what we're doing tonight,
Yeah.
because so Tim is here, and I know on my last stream I said that I was probably going to start with Pump Prime 2 and work my way backward, but Tim mentioned that he had a working MK3, and so I was like, sweet, can you bring it? And he's like, yeah.
It's party time!
And so now it's party
And now-
time.
Is this demo mode off? Is it still say
Yes.
that? Oh,
So
great.
So we've got demo. I have demo sound off so that I could do the intro, but apparently the "It's Party Time" clip
This is not part of the demo.
does it plays anyway. So, but anyway, so yeah, he had a working MK3, so I figured we can start at the very beginning. So here it is. This is Pump It Up first dance stage.
Yeah,
Or dance floor.
first dance floor.
floor.
Not even first international, just
Yep.
first dance floor.
From 1999, is that right?
Copyright at the title screen is listed as 98,99.
Comma 99.
So I don't know if they released it in 99 or if they released it in right around the turn.
Yeah,
But
I honestly, the very first Pump It Up I ever played was the premiere.
okay.
I happened to play it at a Dave & Buster's in Hawaii.
Okay.
And yeah, it was. I have a couple of stories about that. Like, I had played DDR at that point, and so like I go into this Dave & Buster's, and they had it was a DX cabinet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's big, and it looks pretty
It's
cool.
party
It was
time!
impressive.
It looks like
Back in
party
the day,
time.
yeah.
And I was like, huh. But I had no idea what it was or anything, and so I tried it, and I was like, cool. But then, I came home, and there wasn't any Pump, and so I didn't play Pump again. Gosh, did we... I think the next time I played Pump was Exceed 1 at Classic Lanes in Bloomington.
I don't think yeah, because they had one down there. I never played there.
You never played there?
No.
And then I played Exceed 2 with you at Excite.
Yeah, and that would have been
A lot.
late 05.
That would have been like
Where I
05-ish,
started?
somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, I started joining, and you guys had been meeting up there for a short time at that point.
Right. I want to say, did we... Yeah, because I think we played Excite, Exceed 2 before we played Great
Well,
Times.
it was just Exceed 2. Like, they never had Exceed
Right.
2 on that
You're
one.
right. 2 Exceed 2.
Oh, yeah, 2 Exceed.
2 Exceed 2.
2X Exceed.
2X Exceed 2.
2, yes.
Yeah. It's up pump.
Their branding has never been good.
It's party time!
But it is party time.
But it is still party time, as a matter of fact. But anyway, then we played at Great Times after that, though, right? Even though
Yes.
it was third OBG.
Yeah, someone, like, posted that, oh, hey, they have an old pump machine here.
Right.
And I think we played there, and then sometime later...
It became NX.
Yeah, they upgraded it to NX, but the machine was still absolute garbage.
Well, it was an SD. I mean, it
Well,
was
not just that, but, like, the screen was weirdly purple colored. Like, there was no difference between the blue and the red arrows on the screen because the colors were so fucked.
Well, I just mean it was an SD cabinet.
Yes.
Like the original model,
Yeah, it was.
which was not a very great cabinet to begin with.
No, the pads felt like you were stomping on concrete.
Yeah.
And like the monitor was shot.
It was
But
rough.
Ran.
But
Like my first time playing, I actually the first time playing any sort of pump it up type content was at home in Step Mania on my Cobalt Flux back in like
wow.
late 04, early 2005. I had a Cobalt Flux and it was like, oh hey, there's this like 5-panel game you can play on it called Pump It Up, and you can put Step Mania into like 5-panel mode and
It's party
play like a
time!
handful of songs, and it was
And it's
like,
party
this is
time.
kind of not great. And then I went out, I think it was like, yeah, it was in 2005, like in the spring, because then I graduated high school and went out to California that summer for a while. And that's when my friend and I would go down to the Milpitas Golfland every Wednesday.
Ooh, California.
And they had an Exceed DX machine.
Okay.
They also had, what do they have there? They had an In the Groove, a DDR Extreme, a DDR Third Mix, and a DDR Fourth Mix Plus, and a Drum Mania, and a Guitar Freaks, and a Keyboard Mania, and a Beat Mania 3, the final, and a Hip Hop Mania.
Yep. Sounds
Like they had a bunch of stuff, but Wednesday was their like free play day, so we just go down and it was like $10,
nice.
and we just play for like 4 or 5 hours.
Nice.
So
I can't remember when I was at that Dave & Buster's. I think that was probably 2001. Would that be right for Premiere?
It's
2000.
party
Probably around
time!
2001. I think because I know Premiere 3 that I have is copyrighted 03.
Okay.
So it probably.
But they were
would've been-
coming out so fast back
Yeah, but they were doing like Premiere, then Prex, and
then. Yeah.
something else, and then Premiere 2, and
I have one complaint. I have a dumb story to tell about that Dave & Buster's experience. So this was the Dave & Buster's in Honolulu, and they were charging a cover charge. So you had to pay, I think it was $2 to get in. But they would hand you a $2 non-rechargeable play card.
oh god.
And it was like this red and white card with stripes on it that was like, and it says non-rechargeable. So there were $2 on it, loaded on it.
And the
But
game probably cost like $1.20 or something like that.
yeah, but so there were, so a lot of games were priced more than that, so you just couldn't play them with that card at all. And then like if you played, like a 50-cent game, you could play, like a 75-cent game, you could play like 2 75-cent games, and then you'd have 50 cents left.
Yeah.
That you couldn't do anything with because there weren't any 50-cent games, and they wouldn't let you recharge that card. They wouldn't let you add it to the value of another card, so
It's
it was just like
party
lost
time!
money then. So I was just like, I don't understand, and I think that was my first time ever being in Dave & Buster's too, and I was like, I don't understand this. This is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was unique to Honolulu.
I don't know.
Or if that was what Dave & Buster's did back then. But thank God they don't do it
say,
anymore.
Yeah, because I think my first time going to Dave & Buster's was the 07 Nationals up in Chicago that we went, like that one. And then they opened the one in Indy and started going there. And then after that, like there were a couple other, like I went to one down in Georgia while I was down in Atlanta one time, and some other one I went to when I was traveled somewhere.
Oh yes. So I started today, and I aspirationally put this shirt on.
Oh.
Which if you can see it, so 5 is greater than 4. So I was my goal was that we would get to play Pump tonight, but I wasn't sure because I mean you were coming with the MK3,
Mm-hmm.
which you were like worked the last time I tried
It's
it, but I don't know when that was.
Actually, just last year.
Okay.
Like, I literally plugged it in to verify everything worked because there was someone who had shown some interest in, like, I sold him, I had a 0 hard drive and dongle and marquee that I sold to someone, and he was asking if I had anything else, and I was like, well, I've got an MK3 and Premiere 3, but I was going to be, like, shipping it was part of the thing, too, and he was like, I don't know if you want to pay shipping costs on all of this.
Yeah, that'd be...
Or if you're even interested in the older hardware. And so I plugged everything in to make sure it worked, just to verify before even offering it, really. But he was like, yeah, I'm not even really interested in that right now, so...
Yeah. It's just when you're dealing with, 23-year-old hardware.
Yeah.
It's one of those... Yeah, it worked last year.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's been sitting
Shrug?
inside of my cabinet doing nothing since.
Right.
But who knows?
But it does seem to be working. So I want to do one thing. I'm going to turn the demos on for a second so that we can watch the intro video with sound.
It's
and then
party time!
And are you going to clean my screen for me?
Yeah, I just looked over and realized it's actually quite dusty.
Well, Pump hasn't been getting very much love lately, so...
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, oh, hey. Like, I literally just glanced... Because I was just looking at it from the angle and I could see the dust layer on it, so... I was like, go spray it down real fast.
Beauteous. I did clean the stage earlier, so it feels...
The stage looks really nice.
Sticky, actually, but I think that's my shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I'm going to turn the demo sound back on so that we can actually... Hey, yay. Incandescent coin light.
Oh,
Hot.
oh, shit, yeah.
Hot. Uh-oh.
Did it... Did it crash?
So... I'm
The Hawaii DB has DDR now. So a lot of them switched over to DDR at some point.
I guess I'm gonna reboot it.
I mean, we were warned that running it off the CD, the early versions off CD, very well may have some issues.
So yeah, I'm expecting this. So I've never played First before.
I'm not either.
And given my experience, ooh, that looks great. Given my experience with early DDR, I'm expecting it to be pretty primitive. But given that this is, yeah, it worked. But given that this is Pump It Up and Andamiro, I'm expecting it to be pretty buggy.
Yeah. Well, I just got a text from Jason. I'm watching the black screen do what old pump mixes do. It's like that's okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
What you got to say? What you got to say? Yeah, I'm at your mystery field. Check it out, yeah, the in-house thing.
I love that it just kind of stops.
All right.
That's amazing.
Well, I guess it's time to pump it up now.
And that super high-res video
Yeah.
along with it. That is
And
great.
the seizure-inducing demo play and health bar.
Party
It
time!
looks even worse on the recording, I think.
Excellent.
I don't know why nothing else in the game flickers like that, but they decided to make those aspects flicker.
But yeah, hello everyone. Grace's common room. Been binge watching my DDR vids all day. Nice. Well, we got something a little different for you tonight, and I would take requests, but there's how many songs?
I think total or something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
we're probably just gonna play them.
16?
Like, it's a small mix, so there's not really any reason to not just do it all.
What you gotta say, what you gotta say, yeah. I'm
walking you there.
Check it out, yeah, the in-house scene.
That seemed like it went a little bit longer, like it got to
Yeah.
an end. It didn't, like the first time it seemed like it hacked it.
That, I mean, sounds par for the course for MMO.
I love it. I love this. This is high quality. Okay.
Do you want to take second player?
I guess.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna completely block you in the wide shot. I
That
think.
is fine.
I stood in front of you and was like, oh, you just disappeared behind me. I'm a little bit broader than you are, so.
Yeah, okay. That'll work.
Yeah, so like here, like swap around. And like,
Bye! Alright.
Hit me!
So it's on the default setting of 5 coins per credit. Which
Hit me!
I'm guessing
Sundu code.
Sundu. I've never heard of that.
I'm not either, I just noticed that. Sundu.
But alright, and you looked up some codes?
Oh, yes.
'Cause
so
I
if you
don't-
want a 2x speed mod,
Yes.
it's middle, middle, up left, middle, 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 upright, middle.
Middle.
And then the next speed mod would be 4x.
Okay, 2x is
Yeah,
probably
it's
fine.
like I looked up those two. I could pull up the 4x code.
So
and
middle,
then after
middle.
that it's 8x. Yeah, it's middle, middle, up left, middle, 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 upright, middle. And you do that once you're in the
So
song
2,
select.
3,
2,
1.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well let's... And where do we do that?
Once you're in the song select.
Okay. Good lord. Hi. Oh, let's see how to play.
Stomp your feet at Stamp your feet.
Then gauge level upgrade. Miss the arrow step, then you lose gauge level. That's
Yeah.
it's okay English. It's better than some of the things they've done.
So, do we want to play baby step easy mode, or do we want to play professional step hard mode? But there are different song selections, I believe, between them.
Well, we have 8 seconds to decide.
Let's play
Baby step. See, I love that it says baby,
Baby
step,
step,
around
baby
this. That's amazing. Oh,
All
this
right,
is so
so-
good.
I don't know. And then 3 in the middle. I don't know.
We should start with this because this is
Yeah.
what I thought was.
That maybe it doesn't have speed mods on the first mix. I know the codes work on OBG, but maybe they don't actually work on first.
I mean, there were no speed mods in DDR at the
Yeah.
beginning either. So,
All systems go!
that is really obnoxious.
It really is.
You know, it occurs to me that we didn't actually test play this.
Nope. Do it live.
Good news is, it seems like it works.
Oh, it looked like it might have been dead. Not quite. Remember, the baby step.
That's right. I'm sorry I used my professional step on it. that song sound
My combo is terrible.
low, like volume compared to that and the
Yes,
menu?
it did, but
okay, I'm gonna assume that volumes.
Look at those.
Ooh.
S is. Look how cool it is.
All right, I'll let you pick
I mean,
something. The next thing, whatever
let
it
me-
is.
double check my sanity that my codes were correct.
Well, you got 6 seconds, so I'm gonna warn
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I just look like that should be the code. Like that, it very well may just not have speed mods on first mix. The guide I found basically said these codes are good first through perfect selection.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I couldn't find any videos of anyone. Party
This is significantly more complicated than last time.
Second song.
Does Modern Pump even have good radio? I almost feel like it's just get it or you don't.
It definitely has a wide, perfect window. And then,
Does the timing seem just as loose on this? Yeah, it does.
I'm also so out of practice with punk that I couldn't tell you the thing.
Hey, 2 things at least that this has over DDR. First, it's progressive. It's progressive 60 frame
Yeah.
and higher resolution.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, visual-wise, like, as far as, like, the actual game engine and stuff, it looks pretty solid for a late 90s first attempt. Let's see, should just,
Well,
alright, well,
you got speed.
yeah. I don't know why it didn't work on the first round, but...
Watch yours. So look at that. Speed mods in the first.
Inequality, let's stay together, let's live in harmony. Check one. When I come down right to the sun.
Hey, I know this rap. Generic rap track number 6, right?
Timing off or is the game off?
Why not both? Okay, so there's definitely ones in there that I missed that I'm like,
Yeah. I got a bunch of misses. It's like, I definitely hit that. So, yeah, I got 19 misses on that.
Hey, we need to
I got a O, maybe?
an O. Game over. All right, so that's first. Anyway, I'm gonna
What you got to say? What you got to say? Yeah, I'm like so mystery.
sound off for a minute so that we can
Talk.
talk and not have to talk over anything other than it's party
I was
time.
gonna say yeah, so we can talk about how it's party time.
All right. Let me kind of zip back in the chat. So I don't have chat on the video because I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, you have to overlay it on top of something active.
Yeah, we'll see what I come up with or just not. But anyway.
It's party time.
No. He was saying it's janky. Yeah, Pat was saying it's janky how you compress and the receptors respond even though it's on demo. But they don't seem to be.
No, it's just the demo mode actually just doesn't just play perfect though. It actually has a bunch of goods mixed in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any great though. Is it perfect or good?
Perfect or good. But although I know in even more modern ones, usually like if you step on the panels, they usually will light up.
Yeah.
Although
The
this one
lights are
doesn't seem to be
reactive.
doing that. So who knows? Anyway. Glitched. Yeah, so this is running on Tim brought his MK3 over.
Mhm.
He mentioned in my last stream that he had one, so
Yep.
we set this up. Yay.
Yeah, I have a original first version SX cabinet.
Mhm.
So the one with the subwoofer in the middle and coin slots on either side, and the original hardware that was in it was an MK3 with Premiere 3.
It's
And
party time!
I bought it off a friend who bought it off someone, and while he had it, he bought an upgrade kit off of another one of our friends with Fiesta on an MK6 V2, I believe.
So, and here's a dumb question that I don't expect you to know, but maybe someone in the chat might. Like, is there an MK1 or 2?
Not that I'm aware. I think there's a brief article right up on Arcade Otaku or something like that, or Arcade Wiki. There's some Arcade Wiki that has some information about them.
Okay.
And lists what the motherboard models are for some of the later ones.
Uh-huh.
And if I recall, I think it just basically was MK1/2. These weren't really ever seen in the wild. They were probably development ones. Because I mean, they went I think they had. Did they have an MK5? I think.
Yes.
They had
So the ones I know
very-
about are 3, 5, 6, 9.
Yeah,
And then there's different flavors of 6s and 9s. I think.
because 6, the V1 versus V2 of MK6, they changed the motherboard. The rest of the hardware basically was the same, but the motherboard changed, which screwed up Zero, because Zero released on
party
the
time!
V1 and only had sound drivers for the V1.
Whoops.
Motherboard. So if you had it, that's why that's part of why I sold my Zero kit, was because I had a V2 and a Zero kit that didn't have any sound when played on my hardware.
Well, that's kind of useless. That's...
I was like, well, I don't really have a use for this.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, let's play a music game with no sound.
Yeah, but I mean, considering that they went from their official release to customers was MK6 to MK9, the jump. My assumption is that the in between versions would have been
7 and 8.
development ones that they, maybe had were working on, and then maybe had some development versions, and then ended up with 9. Same was they skipped 4 for release. So 1 and 2 were probably their original development ones, and Mark 3 would have been their ready to go commercial.
So
one, I'm guessing.
I don't...
I'm assuming it's all conjecture.
Yeah, well, so for me, I would say that as a Chinese person, the Chinese are very superstitious, and superstitious about numbers in particular.
It's party time!
And I don't know what that's like in Korea, but
Yeah.
I maybe 7 and 8 are bad luck.
But 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8 all being bad luck seems a bit much.
I don't know. Anyway, Grace, am I doing another DDR stream soon? The answer to that is no. I just did literally like 6 months worth of DDR streams. It was like October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So like 7 months of DDR streams. So the last one was a week ago on Friday, and on that one I was saying that the next stream was going to be Pump. And so I'm going to work my way through Pump, then we're going to move over to UB, and then at some point it'll be... and at that point I'll have played all of the games that I have, all the music games anyway, on stream. And then I can look at starting to repeat some. Now, the repeats are going to be likely different than what I did the first time around. So, for instance, if I do DDR again,
It's party time!
it will likely be arcade rather than PS2, because I did PS2 and Wii games before I did the arcade. The modern arcade X and up. So I will probably go back and do like first through Extreme or first through Supernova 2 or something like that on my old cabinet. Will probably be my next series of DDR streams. But I don't know when that's going to be. But it will be likely at least 2 or 3 months out from now, because we got a lot of Pump to play.
There's a lot of mixes, because there
Yeah.
were international mixes, there were Korean only, there were
Right.
in between, there were...
Right.
they did a lot early on.
So we got a lot of Pump to play, and then a decent amount of U-Beat to play, and I want to go through all that before I start repeating anything. So it's going to be a little while. And the big thing for me is once I get a stream up and running, I like to kind of just stay with that game for a while, because as you just experienced,
There's
like
a lot of setup
getting
time.
everything set up takes a lot of time. I
It's
kind of want to get
party
some mileage
time!
out of it before I tear it down and move to another game. So, like, the idea of moving from, back and forth from one game to another in, like, the same week or something like that is just like, no. So,
Your streaming setup's a lot more complicated than mine.
yeah. Well, I get a little ambitious sometimes. But, so that's that. Reminds you of Euromix 2 and the codes to use speed mods. Yeah, although, Pump has always been codes to do everything. So.
Yeah, it's pretty new.
Yeah, it's
as
only
far
been
as their
recently
mixes
that they've had a menu.
Yeah, let's say that was NX
No.
or NXA. Did they
Fiesta? One of the Fiestas introduced the
Okay.
menu. I
Yeah,
think.
that's right, because the NX stuff was still all code based.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do like once they stuck with the. Well, I think it was Premiere 3 that they, or possibly one before that they introduced the current speed mod
It's
code,
party time!
the left, right, middle.
Right.
That still works. Like, they have a menu you can go through and set your mods and stuff, but you can also just do the speed mod code.
Which is what I always do.
Yeah.
I almost never use the menu, but I'm
The menu
So-
is nice because you can do half speeds now too.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I've definitely gone and been like, do the code, menu, half speed. So,
This looks so 2000s. Yeah, maybe even a little bit before that.
I'd say it would have been 98, 99, somewhere in there.
Brian turns into a baby. God, I hope not. I had a dream about being back in school recently, but that's basically a nightmare. So, anyway, let's see. Judgment on the game pretty much simulates a bit like DDR.
Yeah, it's same concept. I mean, the whole gameplay, like everything about it, is basically the same game concept. It's just different approach to it.
You prefer Pump It Up Prime 2. Well, we'll get there eventually, but that is literally like the other end of the series from where we
It's
are.
party time!
Your first pump was double X.
Whew, that's still the current version.
Lucky you. You're super new school.
Got no brackets to.
Oh man, those
Screw up your
the
stomps.
bracketless stages, those are real nice. I do
Yeah.
like those. All right. Lawrence, not every day you see old pump being streamed. That's true. Wilson, please request ignition starts on hard. We will do it, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, I think the plan was just kind of play through.
Yeah, we'll just play
what's
through
there.
whatever. When was the first time I played
Party
DDR?
time.
Blackout is asking. First time I played DDR was fall of 2000. I think it was September. And then, like I said, first time I played Pump I think would have been about 2001. But then I didn't start playing Pump like regularly until I was playing with you.
Because like, oh hey,
at
there's a
Excite.
machine here.
Yeah, and
And
that
at
would
the
have been
time, it was new. Like it was
Right.
C2 was the
It's
new mix. when we
party
started playing.
time!
that would have been like 05 or somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
'Cause it was end of 05 that I started going. I don't think I didn't start playing DDR till I think the first time I played late 03, like Christmas of 03. I went out to California to visit some like family for the holidays. Went over to one of my friends' place and he's like, "Hey, have you played DDR?" I was like, "No, what's that?" "Oh, let's go play." And he had Max on the PS2
Nice.
and played that. And Max didn't have beginner mode yet. I think they introduced that on Max 2 on the home version. So it was light mode was the beginner, and I sucked at it, and I like failed every game.
I was gonna set it to 1 coin per credit, but then I'm also feeling like, is that going to crash it?
Yeah, well, but you have to go into the menu to put the sound back on, so that might crash it too.
I wasn't gonna bother putting the sound back on.
Oh, okay. 10 coins.
1 coin. Okay, it made it. Hooray! Okay, let's I assume that this is just like all the other pumps, where if it has credits, it sits on the title screen forever.
Hit me!
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Which is why I don't.
Also, to answer your question that you had earlier in the night, the Hit Me sound is from the first mix. They've
Oh, that's
apparently
true.
carried that through.
Yeah, it's
Hit me!
all the way to now. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's still in there.
So you were asking, you're like, I wonder if they've changed, because like DDR has changed announcers and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
over time, but Hit Me apparently is still the same.
Its party time is gone.
Yes, thank God. I know I was playing OBG a little bit earlier while you were setting things up, and like they have, if you fail out of the song in OBG, I know it's the gunshot effect, which
And it
once you
still
press-
does the, hey, why don't you just get up and dance?
Yeah.
So, alright, let's see. What do we got here? Are we gonna be professionals this time?
Sure.
Hard, though. Professional step.
All right. Let me try do speed.
I don't care well, I guess we're playing
All
that.
right. Like okay. It does not give you much time in these
It's
menus.
party time!
Bad.
is my first time ever playing this mixed either, so.
Okay, it's a move.
I'm glad they changed the grade graphics.
This is pretty foul.
Got some. All around time anyway. We get like no fucking time to choose. I don't think there's an option to change that timer either.
Huh.
It's like you can just put it in event mode basically and just play everything.
It's party time.
It's party time.
Oh my god. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's like on the upbeat of everything. Wow, that was so desynced.
Oh, ooh, ow!
I don't even. Oh lordy.
Yeah, very off sync. Like I said, I was playing around on OBG a little bit before this, which is OBG is third mix, and there were a couple charts that like started off, and off the bat, like the arrows were way off sync, and then as it went, they
party time.
came into sync with the song, and then we're in sync for the last like 2/3 of the song. It's like,
Yeah, you were like, this feels out of sync, and then you were like, you want to try it? I like jumped on. I'm like, this feels okay to me.
yeah. I was like,
And then you're like,
hold on,
start at the beginning.
restart it.
Hey, Naquan, good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, I know. So this got thrown together real fast. So, like, there's a lot of missing graphics for the stream. I mean, don't know where the hell I'm gonna put the chat. Maybe I'm not gonna put the chat anywhere. Maybe I don't care anymore. Who knows? And it's just been and then like once I got everything set up, I was just kind of like, let's just go. So I yeah, everything's a little fast and loose. But this is first dance floor, the very beginning of Pump.
And it definitely feels like a very rough
that was
first.
that was rough for sure. Okay, well, shall we?
Sure.
Hit me.
So yeah, because they have battle modes where I think you actually play the same part.
Is that one of these? in
Yeah,
here?
the bottom left, and then you have
Bottom left?
non-stop remixes on the bottom right.
Okay, let's battle. Step showdown.
I do a try speed mod right off the bat.
Oh, this is
Here, I'm
this
here.
is different.
Nope. Okay. Ah, fuck. There we go.
So these are specific battles.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing a hip hop
Hip-hop
battle.
battle.
What does this even mean?
I don't know. BPM 92 composer Banya.
Oh, I'm glad
It's
we.
party time!
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
Oh, I know what this is. And so now you'll have to play my steps. And I'll play
Okay.
yours.
Yours make a lot more sense than mine. I was just spamming. See if it handles triples. Nope.
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does. I don't know what I'm doing.
Also, your speed mod didn't apply?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I might have accidentally canceled it when I spammed the middle button a bunch. It doesn't let you do half. Oh, you won. Okay, well that was interesting. Interesting concept.
I feel like DDR has something like that in some mix
Lose,
sometime.
win.
But I don't remember when or where. Interesting mode. Yeah, that is definitely different.
Yes, you can just get down on hands and knees and just jump up and down
All
on
five,
4,
five,
5, yeah.
five.
Timing similar to early DDR mixes? Not really.
No, it still seems loose like Pump, but maybe a little bit tighter.
Yeah, but
also broken.
Yeah,
It's
the
party
sync
time!
does not seem to fit well on any of these songs.
All right.
No character selection. Nope.
Characters? What are characters? Pump it up, jump when. I don't.
Can you?
I think it runs on regular Pump hardware.
It probably does. I mean, I don't see why they would run it on something else.
If I can get it to boot, I will try it.
Like I don't see why
hit
they
me.
would have made custom hardware for that game. So
I don't see why they do anything. Did you start? Can I still jump in?
yeah.
All right. So
We want to go baby step again?
no, let's go back to hard. I assume all the songs are in here, yeah?
I think so. Okay. Both went. But how about Funky Tonight?
party
then-
time.
In regular arcade mode, there is no way to just play the same song with each other.
It's probably code.
Yeah, probably.
This thing's broken too. You gotta play with. This is the opposite of DDR. You do have to watch the timing with your eyes.
Oh, fuck accuracy. Good and a miss. That's.
Hey, we need a beat.
I laughed at you.
That's still in. That ha ha.
Yeah.
What is this cat? I like cats.
Song by Turbo. I don't know what the title of it is because I do not read Korean.
These loading times are
It's
long
party
enough that Linda
time.
might have a chance to read it. I mean, she can read Korean very slowly. Oh Lord!
I don't think we're gonna make this the third stage at this point.
Holy moly! Hold on, let me see. At the risk of crashing it again, so we're turning stage break off.
Oh yeah. Oh, they don't have a off. They don't have stage break off.
So does 3 mean?
I think it would break on the third stage.
Okay, I guess that's better.
Yeah, but they don't have it. You can't turn it off.
And then event mode.
That should put it where you just go in and all the songs are available,
Okay,
and you just play the charts.
event. Let's see what this does. Now that we've seen the menu, so
Oh. Okay. I guess this is different.
there's still
than,
timers.
Yeah, well, it's a different event than.
Then
event
OBG.
mode. Yeah, because OBG it just let you scroll through all the songs and all the modes and just play them.
All right. Well,
It's party time.
I'm guessing this is gonna let us play the same chart though.
Yes.
This music game without sound might actually be easier.
God damn.
What a mess.
So is event mode just dumb?
No idea.
I don't like event mode. How did anyone play this game?
So I'm gonna say the same thing that I've said about Beatmania, like original Beatmania. It's pretty like janky and weird, and I'm like, how were they able to like launch an entire series, or in their case, an entire franchise with this game as like kind of jank as it is?
Non-stop remix?
Oh, I didn't do that on purpose, but I guess we're doing this.
Oh, don't step on the corner, real quick.
Yep. Why not?
See how desync it is.
Can anything be synced?
It's party time!
This feels better.
Yeah.
This at least makes sense. Koreans love to jump. Or at least Koreans love to make you jump. I don't know if they actually love it. Triples.
Yeah.
So that was the first big thing. I haven't seen freezes though. Or holds.
Okay, it's a groove.
I have a fan.
It's a little warm down here.
This corner is warm.
Yeah. I don't have any vents or anything over here.
Yeah.
First hard drive based. I know Exceed was hard drive based, and I know Premiere 3 was CD based because that's the one that I had in my MK3.
I think some of the late Premiere
It's
Plex
party
ones
time!
might be both.
Okay.
I think they might have been
released
both.
some hard drive versions.
I think so, but I could be wrong on that. But you're definitely right. Exceed for sure is hard drive.
Yeah, because that was the first one to run on. I think that ran on MK5.
Mm-hmm.
I think Exceed was the only one that came out on MK5. Because then Exceed 2, I think, was MK6 on release, wasn't it? I think it was MK6.
I've seen a lot of it, Exceed 2 MK5s.
Okay.
But they could have been upgrades.
But yeah, because I think if my memory serves, which it very well may not, I think Exceed
Mine doesn't.
was MK5, and it supported Exceed 2 and 0. But
Yeah,
then,
I think you can still run 0 and 5.
But then once you hit Fiesta, I don't think it worked on the 5. I think you
NX is next.
Or and yeah, NX. Sorry. Yeah, I think once you hit NX, it required a 6. So, and like I said, 0. I think Exceed will only run on a 5. Exceed 2 will run on either a 5 or a 6 or newer. 0 will only give you sound on a 5 or a 6v1. Which I think the only difference between 6v1 and 6v2 was they changed the motherboard. Like I think the graphics card and processor stayed the same. If it runs Pro 1 and 2, it runs the jump. Well, I mean, I think Pro 1 and 2 were the MK6 or MK9s.
I think so. I think 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I can get the game jump, I'll try it. Let's see. Sad Funky Tonight got axed.
Well,
Amazing
actually,
it didn't happen sooner.
I say Funky Tonight got axed on 3rd on OBG, and then got brought back in at a later time. I think they did that with several songs, where they axed songs early on and then brought them back for a while.
Am I able to switch out games? Yes. The answer is yes. But we're gonna have to. I'll be switching out like whole system units between some of the games because these very early games run on the MK3, and then we'll end up on the 5, 6, 9
Yeah.
as we
It's
move
party time!
along. So. Also, God, was the off-sync horrible? Yeah, it's so bad.
No off-stage break. Nope. They added that at a later time.
Yeah, there's
They had the option in OBG because I was playing around with the menus. So I don't know. We'll have to find out if it's in 2nd or not.
Yep, and the timer is so short, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
No, there's no timer option in the menu.
See you later, Ristar. Let's see. Yeah, everything is... I mean, my expectation was this was going to be pretty wacky.
The backgrounds, I believe, are loaded videos. Like they're
No.
not, no? Are they rendered?
No, these are animated sprites.
Oh, okay.
Because they use this engine all the way up until the hard drive ones.
Okay.
And then even
yeah.
and then even when they moved to real videos, they
It's
retained
party
the sprite
time!
animation system because like
For the old
Exceed,
stuff.
Exceed 2 will still run the old animations
Okay, I thought
in
they
their
were
native
at least
format.
videos on there, but huh.
Yeah, no, these are they're just throwing sprites around. If you watch it, you can see how they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's real clever, actually. It has a much... It looks it looks more advanced than DDR at the same time.
Yeah. Like I said, it looks like pre-rendered video a lot of the time. It looks like, relatively low quality, but and there's no reason they couldn't have just pre-rendered it, other than it probably would have been more difficult to run it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, so I think the MK3 is running on a Voodoo 3?
I think that's 3FX.
Well, 3DFX would have been Voodoo.
Yeah.
Which is why I think this opening video looks so grainy, is because that, I think, is video, and that's probably the best that it could do back then. The best that this hardware can do.
MK3 is either a 333 megahertz or a 366 megahertz Pentium 2.
It's party time!
With 64 megabytes of RAM and 3DFX Voodoo Banshee on motherboard.
Does that make it a Voodoo 1? I don't know.
I'm not
I don't
familiar
remember what
with
the
old
Voodoo
stuff.
Yeah, it's been too long since then. But anyway, what I was going to say is, in addition to, do you remember? Did you have a Voodoo back in the day?
I don't think so. I had my first computer that I actually had myself was a XP. It was I think it was a Pentium 3 based Celeron in running XP, like right after it came out.
Okay.
And I was using the integrated graphics off the motherboard, I think, until I had a friend of mine who upgraded, like their family upgraded their video card. And he gave me his old one, and it was some 32 megabyte graphics card. I honestly don't know what card it was. I was like in middle school at the time, so I don't even know. It might have been a Voodoo base. Like, I really don't know. He was like, "Here, you can put this in, and it just slots into like the PCI slot, and now you have better video."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, cool."
It's party
So
time!
my recollection of how Voodoo worked was it was 3D acceleration only. So you used it in conjunction with a 2D card. So you had to have 2D hardware, and then there was a pass-through that did the 3D acceleration. So I think there's probably a couple. So I don't know what the 2D on here is, if there is any, but I'm gonna guess that there's probably 3 things going on why they didn't use video for the songs, for the background movies, and that's number 1, the Voodoo's probably not any good at it.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it's for. It's not good for decoding video. Number 2, bandwidth on a CD-ROM. I don't know what speed CD-ROM this is, but you're talking 300 kilobits a second at 2x, right? I think?
It would have been early.
Right.
It looks like the Voodoo Banshee came out shortly after the Voodoo 2. Like, it was right after the 2.
That may be when they... that may be when they integrated...
A few months after the Voodoo 2.
The Banshee may be when they integrated 2D also. So it may be everything on one chip. I don't remember.
Well, it was also the first one that had AGP support.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, like a 2x CD-ROM drive is only, I think, 300 kilobits a second. So you can't pump much video through that bandwidth.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, it's a CD-ROM.
It's party
It's 650
time!
megs. You don't get to store very much video on there. So I think that's why they did it the way they did it. So they're just
that does make sense.
it's all just sliding and zooming, sliding and scaling sprites around to make the backgrounds. It comes out looking pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And I think for the things that look like animation, it's just they're replacing the sprite, in quick succession, like traditional, cell animation. Basically,
some of these they're just colors changing it.
Right. So. But yeah, glitched 3DFX. I think it made it to the 2000s, but pretty early, and then it was like. Nvidia bought it. I think Nvidia bought 3DFX.
Like I said, I would have had, because that graphic card my friend gave me would have been in like 03 maybe, I think. And like I said, it was an older card they had, I think, that they gave to me. It was like 02, 03, somewhere in there.
It's party time!
And like I said, all I remember was that it was 32 megabytes of memory, I think. And it was like, all right, it works better than my integrated graphics. I can play Red Alert 2 better.
Woo. C1 was originally going to be on DVD. Interesting. I guess the question there would be, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. The drive in your MK3 looks different than mine. I don't know. Is that a DVD drive or a CD drive?
I've not dug into it much.
Yeah, I don't even know what mine is.
It very
honestly.
well could also have been a replacement.
Right.
But I guess it died and they replaced it. It could have been when they were building them, they were just using whatever off the shelf they had, and they used different models. I don't know.
Yeah, DVD. Honestly, it wouldn't be any different to pirate than CD. It'd be basically the same thing. I mean, it's because we're not talking like DVD video. We're talking like it's just a storage medium.
Yeah, and they from I think third on they started using lock chips. They like separate lock chips on the that you had to install on the motherboard, and then when they switched to the hard drive ones, they had USB dongle security chips that were tied
Party
to
time!
that specific mix on that specific hard drive by like the hard drive identifications.
Yeah, it kind of blows actually, because on the I have which one of my drives? I want to say 0 actually. My 0 drive
Died.
Yeah. No, it died. So even if I had a backup of it, like it does me no good because if I
you can straight clone the hard drive, and if you don't actually reprogram it to match the old hard drive
serial
identification
number,
serial,
then it doesn't
care. Yeah, because I know the Fiesta drive that was in my machine.
Although
was
actually, I think I'm
die.
wrong because I think that started in NX. I think 0 doesn't care.
Okay.
0 will let you put it on a different hard drive. You still need the USB, the dongle, but it doesn't care what hard drive you put it on.
But I know my copy of Fiesta, the hard drive is last time I had it it was starting to have issues.
My Prime 2
Prime
2 drive is wonky actually.
It's party time!
So I do have an image of my Prime 2 drive, and at one point it failed to boot. It was like not working, and so I restored the image onto the same drive, and that made it work again.
Huh.
But there's something going on the
It's
drive
just
where it's like
itself.
something's getting corrupted
Yeah.
and it's not working. So that's cool.
How hard is it to clone hard drive serial numbers onto a new drive?
Yeah.
I'm sure it can be done. I just don't know the process for it. Yep, USB dongle DRM. I mean, most of the arcade games had some DRM. I mean, DDR had the little
cartridge
that coincided with the CD.
Yep.
Like most of them had DRM because otherwise people would have just pirated them and upgraded their machine for free.
And often did anyway.
Yeah.
But
It usually took them some time at least. Like back when they were being released actively, if you wanted the new mix when it came out, you had to buy the official mix.
well,
It would took
not with DDR.
Oh, with DDR cracked earlier.
With DDR, like,
It's party time!
I would say of all of the DDR extremes that I've played in the arcade, for instance, or honestly, of all the DDRs I've played past usually 5th mix, I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10 it was a bootleg and not official.
Yeah, I know.
In the arcade,
I know Extreme was bootlegged.
Extreme was
yeah,
all over the place. Plus, I mean, it's still running today, 20 years later. So of course it's been busted at this point. But
I know with some of the pump ones, like they were cracking up, but it would usually take them a little bit of time after a release to get any progress made.
I've heard some crazy stories about Pump, but I have not retained them all. Anyway, well, let's
Hit
See how desynced it is.
Jump back in, see what we got. Back to professional step. Hado modo.
Okay.
I guess we're playing this. Have we played this already?
I
did.
think so. If I recall, the sync wasn't too bad though.
It's party time!
I don't know about this.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the sync was bad.
This is bad.
Very early. What are these steps even timed to?
No idea.
All right, you make a step chart.
Maybe very
I'll find
late.
a song and we'll put them together later on.
Amazing. Hold on. Is that a hard drive taped to the wall? It's not taped, but yes, it is. That hard drive died many moons ago, and I took the lid off of it, and then I stuck it on the wall because I thought it was pretty.
They do
It's
look nice
party
inside.
time!
So, Shrimpo? Is that what I'm looking at? I'm not sure how to say your name, but people usually just hacked older versions to add newer songs or customs.
Yeah.
I have heard about that. Like, there was one particular mix of Pump that was
One
like
of the Prex versions, I
was
think, that
was
was.
very broken, and so people were just using that as the base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Prex seeds, right?
Yep.
For a long time. Sheepy Chris, this is real hardware for this one. As far as I know, this is the only way to make first dance floor work. It requires this particular hardware, so this is for real. For real. So if it's broken, I think it's just broken.
Yeah.
It's not like an emulation problem or a conversion problem. I think that's just the way the game is. It's busted, and from what we've heard, that seems to track.
Time!
It's Andamiro, and it's early Andamiro.
Yeah, that's what I was when I was. I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the stream, but I think I did. But I was definitely saying it to Tim earlier. Is that like my expectation coming into this cold, like never having played first before, was I have played First Mix DDR, and I'm like, that's pretty primitive by today's standards, so I'm expecting this to feel very primitive, but also very broken janky, because that's how Andamiro is.
Yeah, I mean, they've pretty much always had songs that were slightly off sync as they.
And there's
I mean, they
always
probably
been
still
like
do.
weirdo bugs in
Yeah.
the game, things that just don't work right, and maybe things that maybe crash. We had the game crash earlier in the stream, so.
Yeah, that's how we started it.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Oh, it crashed.
Right. So, I just assume it feels broken, and I assume that's just the way it is. Okay, I got it right. Shrimp, cool. I never know with screen names sometimes.
It's party time!
Literally ship the whole NX or NX2 source code.
On NXA or NX2.
Yeah,
I do recall
I heard about
hearing
that.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there was something where like they made the image of the master image of the drive was made on like a developer's drive.
Yeah.
And so like once you got past the game part, all of the bits for that
Yeah,
were
it
the
was
developers'
source code.
drives, yeah,
Yeah.
beyond that were still like, you know, intact, and you could piece them back together.
Wasn't there also? I think there was, if I recall, during one of like the World Pump Fest, they were running it on Windows, I think, to be able to. For some reason, they were like running it on Windows to synchronize two machines, and like one of those drives got stolen at the event. That had like the Windows version of whatever the current Pump It Up was at the time.
I've heard that story too. There's just so many like just like fucking Wild West bizarro land stories.
Yeah, well, Pump Mexico, yeah.
With
Theater 1 or 2.
with Pump.
It's party time!
It's party time.
Ugh. '07.
So
Oh yeah, that was the '07 one. That would have been.
that was the USPF that we did.
Yeah, we did USPF that year. That would have been NX, because they had the FX cabinets at that for the
Sounds
USPF.
right.
They ran 2 FX cabinets.
That sounds right.
But they were running a different. They were, like I said, I think for World Pump they were running something weird because they were running something on Windows. Like I don't know why.
Who knows?
It was something where they were because they had people were like the 2 contestants were playing on separate machines, and they wanted to have them like synchronized so they could start the song identical times and all that from a third party.
Good old 3, 2, 1 pump.
Yeah, that's how we did it. Like at the USPF, they just had 2 machines and we just counted down. But yeah, for World, I guess Andamiro was there with a control setup that they could control both machines remotely and tell them to start. So they were probably, my guess is they probably
It's
hacked
party
together
time!
some development build off of, like if you said like Shrimpo said Exceed 1 or 2,
Yeah, that
so they
sounds
must have like hacked it together off an old version and
I'm telling you, Wild West.
yeah.
Just Wild West. All right, let's
Hit me!
see
hit
if we
me!
can find some other songs.
That's the other thing. You can't both put your codes in at the same time, because if you both hit like the same diagonal in a row, you'll start
yeah.
the song. So it's like we have to wait for one of us to do it, then the other. So this is the last one of the first selection. What do you really want?
Sync?
Yeah.
I really want the song to be synced. That's all I really want.
It's party time!
Well, you might not get that, but you do get party time.
Oh, goody.
네가 진짜 몰라 이게 뭐야 네가 진짜
hit sing. Nope. I have no idea what this. It's like the chart doesn't even go with it. I just stopped listening and just was just playing by eye, playing by sight completely.
Hey,
Still get a
we need a beat.
Amazing. Hey, at least we get to play the second song.
Yeah.
That's
See if
it.
we can finally make it past it. Have we played? Song yet? I don't think so. Give it a try. Another A True Heart.
Another A True Heart.
It's party time!
Vaguely sing. Sync enough to make sense at least.
Hey, we made it past stage 2.
Amazing.
Jump, jump, jump.
Hey, we need a beat.
20 misses apiece. Ooh, what do we got? Let's see.
Oh, someone asked for Ignition Starts, so
Oh,
since it's there, we'll play
Ignition
it.
starts is song 101. I believe, so.
Alright.
Hardcore Ignition starts.
Hardcore.
Thanks, Banya.
It's party time!
It's like DDR, long open. that last one too. What the heck? Boo.
Should have just stomped it instead of trying to go down for it. Ugh.
All right, let's see. Oh, we missed a bunch of, Hey, Night Saturn. Welcome aboard.
Special build on KPF and WF.
It's party
Some
time!
of those visuals remind you of screens at bowling alleys. Caleb, that's I see it. I mean, they probably were made about the same time.
Yeah. No, except those were actually pre-rendered video.
On VHS tape. No, I'm kidding. History of unique pump builds has always fascinated you. Yeah, it's such a weird, like, pump is just weird in general. Like, so many things about it are weird. But I love it, nonetheless. What's up with my timing? Yeah. Game's broken, for sure. Although, to be fair, I'm probably playing pretty bad anyway.
It's party time!
You once did a spin in this chart and one of your glasses crystals flew off. Amazing. I can remember playing and like swinging my arm and just catching my glasses and just ending up like throwing my whole glasses across the
I've
arcade.
definitely I've done double or freestyle mode in particular and like threw my glasses across. I used to for a long time. I was actually back when I was playing actively and like was playing higher level like doubles and stuff. I just played without my glasses because like it was clear enough that I could see what was going on. My vision's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it was safer to just play without them than risk them flying off and breaking every song.
Yeah. There was a while when I was playing without glasses, but these tend to fit me real well, so they
same.
stay
They're
on.
pretty good now. And I am not throwing myself across the pad as fast anymore.
Thallus Spares. You're streaming third mix on System 573 just a while ago. But you were playing with an arcade controller. Okay, fun, interesting. Is PIU health bar much more punishing than DDR? The answer is most likely yes. In fact, the third mix
It's
Korea
party time!
version of DDR, the health bar is much harder than the Japanese version. So the Koreans seem to be like real, like hardcore difficulty.
Well, and Pump It Up has always been more focused on keeping your combo going than your timing.
Yeah.
So it's like as long as you're getting the steps and any sort of like anything close, like a
close
good,
enough
great,
is good
or
enough.
perfect,
Yeah.
you'll keep your life bar going. But as soon as you miss something, that's when you get punished.
Yeah. But I know, like I said, playing third mix Korea DDR is way more difficult than regular Japanese.
Well, and the question there is that because that was more suited to the Korean culture, or because the Konami being a Japanese company was like, haha, fuck you guys.
I don't know. I would assume. So the difficulty, I don't know. That would have just been like a tweak in the game.
Yeah.
But like for instance, the Korean songs,
It's party time!
the charts for the Korean songs don't feel anything like the Japanese ones.
Okay.
So it seems like somebody they got some Koreans to actually do the Korean content.
That makes sense actually. Then localize it. And
Yeah.
Here, why don't you add some stuff? We don't really know what you got going on over there. You add some stuff.
Because not
and
only
what do
are
you
they
wanna
Korean,
change?
like Korean pop songs, but like the charts feel way different. When I was saying earlier, it's like Koreans love to jump. I don't know if it's true that Koreans love to jump, but Korean dance games love to make people jump because the Korean charts in DDR
Very
are the
jumpy
same
as
way.
well.
They're very like it's all air all the time. It's like jump, 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 and it's like oh my god, my back, my legs, everything hurts. So.
Well, and I mean, pump it up as you go through the versions. Like the style of the style of the step charts change as they've like changed development teams and stuff like that. And nowadays, like they have a bunch of different people building charts for them too.
But yeah, no. So to answer your question though, Night Saturn, like
It's party time!
I normally have no trouble transitioning from pump to DDR and vice versa.
Yeah, because like the timing windows are different, but in general, if you're hitting them with your timing on,
Right.
it's fine.
So, am I doing terribly tonight? The answer is yes, but I think it's. I mean, I'm gonna blame the game, and I don't feel like I'm making excuses by doing so.
yeah, I mean, like I am way out of practice with pump, but even like I have a setup and when I do play it, like I'm not nearly as good as I used to be, but like I can still play like 10, 11, 12s, and my timing is fine, and
Yeah.
I can get through them, but they're synchronized properly.
And Thalasphere says your cab is very pretty. Well, thank you. First of all, the interesting thing about this particular cabinet, this is the only arcade machine that I bought brand new in box. So like I actually ordered this machine. It's been a long time ago.
Was it
What?
0? Or
No,
was
I
it
got this
NX?
one as NX2.
Okay.
So whenever NX2 came out, which was 08,
I think so. Yeah, because
So-
I think NX was what they were playing in the 07
It's
tournament.
party
oh wait,
time!
behind you. NX is 06. So NX2 probably would have
Well-
been 07 or 08.
Probably, they probably would put it out like the end of 07.
Yeah. So yeah, in 07 or 08, I don't
because-
remember which.
The USPF was like in the summer, wasn't it? Like it was, or sometime in the middle of 07.
Sounds right.
So if
like
they had
July.
released NX the year prior, that would have been the active version.
Yeah.
Because I think they would usually do the pump by the time like World Pump Fest ended, they were like, okay, now we're like World Pump Fest is over. Now we're gearing up for the next one to come out.
Yeah.
So,
But that's why mine has the NX2
right,
sticker on
yeah.
it, and also has this was pre-installed because NX2
Yeah, that's right.
introduced the USB sticks.
Which they pre-installed an add-on box.
Yeah.
They didn't change the cabinet at all.
Yeah.
Well,
but
at that point, they were making the FX cabinets too. So
But yeah, so I actually I ordered this directly from Andamiro, and it was delivered to me in a gigantic box, and I opened it up. So this cabinet has only ever been here. Well, here in my house. It was over there before. But
It's
so
party time!
it looks very clean because it's never been like in public use.
yeah,
And yeah, the funny thing about the USB box, so this box they sold as an add-on that you could add on to cabinets that didn't have them, and the official installation method is drill a hole in the cabinet. There's a hole right here, and then
Yeah.
like the cables just run inside to the cabinet. But even when they did it at the factory, there's literally just a hole here. There's no trim piece, there's no grommet,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
You would
It's
think
just,
if they were doing it from the factory, they could have at least gone down through the box and then
Right.
across. But nope.
nope, they just put a hole
mean,
right here.
It also wouldn't surprise me if at that point they basically had all their cabinet stock built
Actually, if
and
you
they
look
were
at
just
this,
adding it on
they drilled this
separately.
board
Yeah, because
first because there's a
it doesn't
there's-
line up properly.
there's a support beam in there that is not drilled. Anyway, that's
But I mean, they very well may have had like all the wood cut and stuff and everything prepped
yeah.
for, because that would be something where it's like, okay, let's order order all the wood cut for,
It's
however many
party
hundreds of
time!
cabinets, and then just have it sit there and assemble them as you need.
Yeah.
And eventually they're like, okay, well, we're going to add this on, so it's just take all of those pieces and drill holes here.
So, yeah, the attract mode sound is off. I did turn it on a little bit earlier. I know I'm way back behind in the chat, but Night Saturn asked his track mode set as only saying it's party time. So I have demo sound off, but it seems like I think it's party time is triggered at the beginning of a song,
Yeah.
and even in demo mode, it seems like that is not being canceled. So it's still saying it's party time at the beginning of each demo play.
Can you imagine being an arcade attendant in 1999 and sitting there, and every minute and a half, 2 minutes, it's party time all day long?
I would turn the attract sound back on, because then at least it would kind of make sense. But at least the only reason I have the demo sound off otherwise is just so that like when we're talking like we are now, we don't have to like be shouting over the music and everything.
Yeah.
But
It's party time!
you were playing Korean version 2. It's very true. You also love how they made sure that the cuts of the songs are in both games are very different. Yep. Was it a new old stock machine? FX cabs would have been in full production by then. So I mean, both were available, and I wanted this. I didn't love the FX cabinet. It was fine.
I liked the idea of the FX cabinet. The execution was only okay.
My big issue with the FX and actually all of the cabinets until when
Okay,
did
they did FX and then they did the CX and
So-
then TX and
It's
LX.
party time!
Right, but my big thing is with the FX introduced widescreen,
Yes.
but the game was not widescreen until much later.
Yeah.
Because the FX cabinet came out with NX, the game NX, but
You just
it would
stretch.
just stretch it. And like I don't like stretching to the wrong aspect ratio anyway, but on doubles especially,
Yeah.
it makes the because if you ever look at doubles charts, in widescreen mode, it still keeps the scroll to the 4:3 center
Yeah.
of the machine of the screen, but if you play 4:3 stretch to 16:9, it stretches that whole scroll all the way out to the edges, and especially on the TX cabinets with the 55-inch monitor,
Yeah.
it was too big. Like unless the stage was very far away from the machine, trying to read a double scroll all the way across this 55-inch screen.
Yeah, the
was-
FX kind of got away with it because it was only like a 40-inch monitor.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
was small
And
enough.
So yeah, it was small enough that generally at a reasonable distance it was fine. But they also had plasmas on them, which burned in.
It's
Right.
party time!
So there's a bunch of bugs flying around these lights here, which makes me believe that I have a window open somewhere. That's closed. Well, I don't know.
Glitch said they ended up drilling into the side of their monitor box to run the cable, so there's less cable exposed.
Yeah,
Makes
like
sense.
if I had installed this, I would have done it differently. But
Yeah.
it was done. It was done for me, so I just left it the way it was.
But yeah, because they were running... So they introduced the FX cabinet, and they were still running the GX, which is this guy.
This is
And they...
this is SX2.
Is it FX too?
Yeah, this is SX2.
Is it a smaller monitor?
Yes.
Oh,
This is the 29-inch monitor.
Oh, right. Yeah, because the other one had a very thin. Yeah, but I think they were still running the GX for a while. I think they were running the GX until they basically ran out of stock of the larger
34-inch monitor. Right.
It's
And then they switched to the
time!
SX2, and this was basically the cheaper option from them.
Oh,
And then
between this and the FX?
The FX was the higher end model that they were selling.
That may also be why I chose this one over the FX.
Well, and
since
you
I was
probably-
buying it for me, it was
you probably
it would've
also
been
wanted
cheaper.
the CRT instead of a plasma.
I did.
But like, because now you can still get, because I think now it's the LX or the CX. I think you can get still. Or
No,
LX or
CX is done.
TX?
It's LX. Everything's LX now.
Oh, I thought for a while they had two versions you could get still. Like it was.
I don't think
they had
so.
a larger and a smaller. Maybe that was the CX and the TX.
Yes, the CX and
Okay.
TX were out at the same time.
Yeah, but again, it was one of them. That one was the premium cabinet, and the other was the slightly more affordable one.
I actually liked the CX more than the TX.
Yeah.
Personally.
The same, because that was I think like a 42 or 43 inch monitor.
Yeah, I thought it was a better size, and I liked the marquee treatment that they did. I thought was really nice. The TX to me, I always thought it looked kind of bulbous, like it was rounded in weird places that I didn't.
Yeah.
And like I said, the monitor was just too big. It was too big to not support true widescreen yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
the LX with like XX on it is fine.
yeah, and,
It's a little
and
large,
honestly, to play double X on a
It's
TX
party
now,
time!
I think would be fine.
Yeah.
like because the aspect ratio is correct.
Well,
but
that's
to
like,
stretch 4x3 to 16:9 at that size, it did not look good.
Because my setup, I'm running on a 42 or 40, 42 or 40, I think a 43 inch monitor that I'm running on. Obviously not the original hardware, but it's like a Samsung commercial display. I got it off of someone I got it off someone off the marketplace who was selling like old returns and stuff. It was like the box was labeled as like a Staples return or something. So like it's
Weird.
like, it's a Samsung commercial series display, but it has like really really low latency on it actually. So play hard mode and play in final round ignitions. No one starts. We actually just did that.
Yeah, we did that. You wonder if the USB slot works. It does. It just won't work yet because it doesn't work on this game. Let's see.
It's party time!
It's Daytona
Time.
FX, CX, TX. Yeah.
Soup Saturn. You kind of forgot there was ever a first version of Pump It Up. Yeah.
From what I understand, like, I don't think it was out long. Like, I think it was obviously the first one, and then they put out a second version.
Well, DDR was the same way.
Yeah, it was
like first mix did not last
very
long.
quickly, and it wasn't until like, what was it, third or fourth iteration that they did the first international dance floor. So they did like an international release. So the first like 2 or 3 versions were
Korea
only.
Yeah.
So there just weren't as many produced, and they didn't have as much reach.
I actually like the LX cabinet a lot. I think it's really pretty. Shrimp, you say the sound is bad. I haven't noticed. But I mean, it's so different too because
It's
like
party time!
when I'm at an arcade, like for instance, DDR Extreme sounds okay in an arcade.
Yeah.
When you play it at home and it's quiet, it sounds like garbage.
Yeah.
But it's not the cabinet's fault. That particular game is just like compressed to hell. That reminds me. So I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the format of the audio on this is, but I don't think it's Redbook, like DDR was in the beginning. The reason I mention that is I remember Brandon had a percussion mix, first mix, or Percussion Freak's first mix machine at one time. He may still have it, and Drummania / Percussion Freaks was the same as DDR in that the backing tracks were just Redbook audio. Were like regular CD audio. You can put it in a CD player and just play it. And for whatever reason, if you swapped the CD-ROM drive in that game, everything just desynced. It was just completely broke. So there was something special about that CD-ROM drive for some reason. I don't know if the same thing happens on DDR, but I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder if something like that is going on with this. You know, like if this is a replacement CD-ROM drive, and so the sync is all goobered.
But I think things different on different songs too. It's not like consistently off. It's
but I don't think it is, and I don't think it's using Redbook audio either. So
no, I don't think it was. I think it's just borked because it's pump it up first.
Let's see. Oh, they just use some woofers in the soundbar in the LX. Yeah, I mean, it may not be great, but it's... I don't know. I haven't gotten to play an LX in a quiet environment, so...
Yeah, it's not like... I have played them a few times, and I've never... Like, I don't recall, like, going and being like, wow, this is an incredible audio experience. But it was also just kind of like, sounds fine. Like, it sounds...
I can hear it.
Pump it up, I can hear it, I can hear the beat, I can hear the song well enough to keep sync to it.
It's party time!
Multi-brawler, is it a pain to deal with CRTs maintenance-wise? Not, in a home setting, not really. I mean, the thing about a home setting is that you just don't put that many hours on machines. So, I mean, there's obviously some preventative maintenance that you want to do to monitors, but you should probably be doing that type of maintenance on everything. So, are CRTs a pain over anything else? Not really. They're just more dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
That, and if they do die, it's a lot bigger pain in the ass to replace them.
Yeah, well, that's...
Because they don't make them.
Right, that is for sure.
That's the big problem with them, like with anyone running retro arcades like in the wild now, is that, well, they have to have a warehouse full of CRTs.
Yeah.
Because every now and then one dies, and they're like, if they don't have one ready to slot in, then game's off the floor.
Although, to be honest, like, LCDs are not much better.
Party time!
No, they're just more widely available.
I mean, to repair.
Yeah.
LCDs tend to, like, break, and then you have to just buy a new one.
Yeah. Like the benefit of that is that you can generally just buy a new one. At this point, CRTs are getting harder and harder to find in decent condition.
Although you run into issues like, for me, with DDR and
Getting
Ghidorah,
the size and format.
They're 37-inch LCDs, which is not a size that's made anymore.
37-inch 720p, right?
Yes.
Which is definitely not made
So
anymore.
getting a replacement that will fit and look correct can be a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
He loved the fact that One Spot in Quebec kept a first mix DDR camera for such a long time. You should have been the one to get it. And Shrimp says Pump use MP3 from the get-go. Okay, yeah, I thought so. It didn't seem like... So you could literally just rip the audio from the drive and it would run fine after decrypting it. Yeah.
It's
Do you think first and
party
second
time!
are Redbook? I don't know. I mean, I can find out here in a minute. I can pull the disc out and throw it in a CD player and see if it plays. But I don't think it is. I don't think even this one is.
It does point out that both games have issues with like pump tools and stuff. You have to have the original hardware to run it. So I don't know if that's the audio or something else was it, but
Because if it's MP3, it's very early on to get audio like that without bugs. Well, guess what? There's plenty of bugs. All right.
blew out his marquee speakers on his SX1.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know how the SX1 compares to the SX2. You'd have to tell me.
Again, it's one of those, like, I have an SX1 and I've played it in a home environment, and I've played SX2s like yours in a home environment here, but I've not like played them with the intent of like, okay, let me analyze the audio on them, and I haven't like played the same mix on one and then gone over to the other and played it.
I do know
they sound, from what I recall, it was
party time!
okay. This probably sounds a little bit better.
I do know the GX for sure, and the SX2 I think is using the same sound system as the GX. And if I'm not mistaken, the bass part of the GX is the same, right?
Yeah.
Because this part is just wider. Like there's
Yeah.
less side here, I think. So acoustically, I think they're the same, and I think hardware-wise they're the same. Because the marquee box is the same. So those speakers are
Yeah.
the same between GX and SX2, and the box down here is the same. So I think they sound the same. And I know the GX is loud as fuck. Like it
the
can
SX
put
could
out
get pretty
some,
loud, but like you said, you could blow them out if you jacked it up too high.
Yeah.
Sub's not far from dying. So like I'm not even running mine in my cabinet anymore. Like I've got
Yeah, I know.
the internals and the I/O and everything pulled out, and that's why like that I'm running it on like a 43-inch LCD, and so it's like well, there's two reasons. One, my options, like a lot of people go and they'll remove the glass and everything and just mount the LCD to the front of the cabinet. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like mine, I have in a lot much more streamlined. I've got a freestanding like TV stand. The other thing is the house I've got it in.
Space.
Well, no,
No?
I can't get into the basement. The door from the garage. The garage is at basement level. So my cabinet is sitting in the garage, and my actual pads and setup are in the basement. But the door to get between them is not standard size, and it's about an inch too narrow to fit the machine through.
Oops.
So I'm actually running, like I'm running a separate, like a speaker subwoofer system on it anyway. Like I've got that Clips Pro Media.
Oh, nice.
One
Yeah.
hooked up on it, and I built a mount bar so that it holds the speakers on either side of the TV, kind of like the FX cabinet did. And it works great. Like it sounds good. It looks pretty good. It's nice and compact. It doesn't take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more space here. So my pump used to be over that way in the basement, right next to DDR. So DDR and pump sat next to each other, and they're in an alcove over there. So they had a lot more like
It's
depth.
party time!
So I could keep like a lot more space between the cabinet and the stage than I can here. Like I can't. This is as far back as I can get it, because if I move the stage back, I won't be able to open that door anymore. Like you
Yeah.
can't see it, and there's a
literally
door
just off
right
frame.
there. Yeah, that like yeah.
And it
So
swings outward, so if
right.
hit the stage.
So I can't do anything. It's a little bit tighter than I'd like. But a couple of years back, so 2DX used to sit in this corner, which was fine, but I swapped 2DX and Pump It Up so that 2DX and DDR could be together to do the 2DX DDR link. But this was not my ideal placement for this machine, but it was the best I could do. I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. My goal this summer actually is to replace the flooring in the basement with arcade carpet.
Oh, nice.
And
Get some UV lights down here.
yeah, that's the hope. And if you see actually right behind the stage here, you'll notice that like here it's carpet, but then behind the stage is like a wood floor. So there's like a transition strip that runs, along here.
It's
the
party
center section
time!
of the basement is wood floor, and then the outer edges, the outer sides are carpet, and that ends up dictating where I can put some machines, because I don't want to put them over the transition necessarily, because they might be a little bit. Well, I guess I could use the levelers to level them out, but it looks weird. So, but the idea when I put the new floor in is to carpet the entire basement.
Yeah.
So there will be no transitions. So I hopefully will be able to like move machines around in different
Yeah, that'll be a lot
configurations, and hopefully that will let me get Pump back out to some place where I have a little bit more space.
Well, and I get why they did the flooring like this, because you've got like a wet bar in the middle of the basement.
Well, I did it this way.
Okay, I wasn't sure if this is how it came or if you.
No.
Oh no, that's right. Cause I didn't. It was like this when I started coming over, but I do remember seeing pictures of it all.
The basement was unfinished, and
yeah,
to tell you the
just
truth,
concrete.
The reason I did it, I did it this way was kind of laziness /
It's party time!
not knowing how to do anything else. The carpet on that side is an uncut roll, so it's 12 feet wide and
Okay.
however long. So I just cut it to the right length, laid it out, and I'm like, that's done. And then I don't know how to seam carpet, so I'm like, transition strip, wood floor, and then come on this side, and it's like, roll out a 12-foot wide strip,
Cut out the notch.
cut out the little notch, we're done. Transition
All right.
strip, wood floor, and that's how that came to be. But my plan is to have my friend that's done a lot of the other flooring in my house since then to come in and do the carpet correctly and do the seams right and glue it down and make it all nice. So.
And if you're gonna redo the carpet, might as well get arcade carpet.
Yeah. You don't think they're starting another session? Well, because you said that,
Hit me!
starting another session.
Let's see if I can get the code first try this time. The timer is so damn short.
Party time!
Check it out, yeah, the hit house scene. Come on, freak it out, the sensation. Body freak, generate the foundation. Peace, inequality, let's be together, let's live in harmony. Check one. When I come down right to the sun.
This chart at least makes sense. Mostly.
Yeah, a little off thing, but
It's not gross so far.
The sensation, body free, generate the foundation. Inequality, let's stay together, let's live in harmony.
missed. Alright.
But I know there's
Okay, it's a groove.
oh, you want me to do ignition starts? We did it actually. We did it a little while ago. But I guess we can do it again. I don't know if we did this.
I don't know.
Let's do it.
I know we've done the other three. We've only made it to the third round like once or twice now. I think once.
Yo, 1,999. Can y'all hear me out there? It's
Set like
party
two seizure
time.
lows.
Yo, y'all need to turn it up. While we OG. 이제 나 내가 말하는 건 아직 더 달아. 내가 느끼고 손을 그렇게 자리하고.
Oh, it's late. Or is it early? I can't tell.
Both?
Oh my god, this is rough. Oh my god. I don't know if we're gonna make.
No.
Nope.
Like I said, I think we've only made it to the third song once. The sync is so bad on the second round of songs. Like all of them are horribly desynced.
Yes, I am. Glitch. I am powering this off of a separate PSU. An old AT power supply, actually. Not even an ATX, an AT power supply, because it has a separate power switch on it, which is helpful for this application.
Yeah.
It's party
And
time.
like my cabinet this came out of is the original power supply died in that, and it's got other power supplies hacked in. At one point, I think it initially had 2 power cords running to it because they had one going to an off-the-shelf like AT or ATX power supply that was powering the MK3, and then they had, I think, a different power supply running the other stuff, or the monitor, or something. They had it. They had 2 cords going in. I didn't, like, you were the one I think who worked on that before I
did.
bought it. So it was already fixed by the time I acquired it. But yeah, it's.
I briefly was going to plug that power supply in with the cord that normally powers the MK9 in my cabinet. So I was switching it to 220 volt. But then it turned out that cord wasn't long enough to put the power supply someplace where it wasn't going to fall out without unstrapping all the cables, which I didn't feel like doing. So I just plugged it into the wall. So I switched the other.
It's party time.
You thought
I've-
timing on extra was bad?
I've been warned about extra. I was telling a friend before we got this going. I was mentioning to a friend what we were working on, and he was like, "Oh, it's gonna be rough for a while, and then it'll get okay, and then you have to deal with extra." So,
Was it Prex 3 where the timing is more lenient than older mixes? I don't know where it started. I can't even tell. This is so badly synced that I can't tell if the timing is lenient or strict.
it's so badly synced that the demo mode can't even play it correctly.
Good. But yeah, Pat, like, modern pump timing is very loose in general. It's definitely they tend to make the charts tend to be more dense and complicated than DDR.
Yeah.
So
it's about, can you hit everything versus can you time it super well?
Right. It's much more about
It's party time!
about just base performance
How
than it is
fast do your legs
accuracy.
move?
Right. All right. And I was just gonna say, for some of the people, since I'm playing a much different game than I normally do, and we're on at a much later time than normal. I know there's a lot of different people on the stream than a lot of my normal streams. So for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, I talk a lot. I talk a lot with the chat. We answer questions. We talk to each other when there's other people here. So if it seems like we haven't played a game in a while, you're not wrong.
Well,
and that's just kind of the way it is.
And this one in particular, it's like every time we get in, it's like, oh god, the sync, this is horrible.
Yeah. And this one is particularly like special.
It's kind of painful to play. Like, it's kind of cool playing the first version, but it is so painful.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a novelty for both of us because we've never played First Dance Floor before, and that was probably for the best.
It's party time!
But like historically, I just wanted to see it, and so here it is, in all of its buggy glory.
So we keep getting requests for ignition starts. I think it's, like I said, I know because we had OBG, which is Third Dance Floor. We had that up and running for a little bit while you were getting the camera and the lighting and all that set up. And so I was just kind of playing around with it, playing around with the codes and different modes. And that one, you can put it in event mode, and it just unlocks all the charts. You can just scroll through. You scroll through with the down arrows, and you select one or two at a time. And I think ignition start is in that mix. So like when you get, if nothing else, when you get to that one, you can just choose whatever you want to play. You don't have to go through the process of trying to make it to the third song.
Well, I feel challenged. I feel challenged to get to it again, even though it means that we're going to have to play two songs that we've already played.
That are horrible things.
Because there's so little variety in this. It likes me better.
Well, like it did it on the second try of mine. It just,
It likes me better.
I guess. It knows who it is.
It's like me and Belinda with the Xbox. She'll be like Xbox on, and it's like nothing. I'll be like Xbox on, and it turns on. I'm like, it likes me better. Oh, that's right. This is like
Like every other song. Hardly off sync.
nowhere even in the ballpark. So even if we get to ignition starts, we're not going to pass it because it's so desync. It's late, right?
Yeah. And that's just nowhere. That's literally in the middle of nothing.
It is so desynced. I don't even know
Like it is taking a lot of concentration to play this
Hey,
because
we need a beat.
the entire time I'm having to try and ignore the music
Exactly.
while playing. I can't remember if any of these had any symbol of it. Let's play Black Cat.
Black cat on black screen.
It's party time!
Coming back to you like one more time. Come on, make it feel with another no rhyme. Oh yeah, what you think about that? Bring it on down with the baby black cat. I'll baby wanna let you know. For a long time I've loved you so. Come on, baby, run away from me. You're not guaranteed we're gonna look after me. Ha 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 ha.
Started out well, but it's so bad.
Made it!
All right, here we go.
Alright.
Oh God!
Double D's.
Double desynced.
D's steps. All right, here we go. I don't like my chances here.
We didn't pass it last time.
Did it
It's
fail us out?
party
Oh, no, I
time!
think we failed at the end.
Okay. Yes!
Cleared it.
I even hit the triple at the end.
Hey, we need a beat.
Ugh, you cleared it at least. I don't think I did. Ugh.
What a mess. All right.
Yeah, I know, but like, I was basically trying to tune the song out as best I could and just count in my head.
Same. I was just like, ignore the music, just. See, D-Sync is out of this world. Shame on Andamira. Yeah, I don't.
Not even sad that first doesn't work with Peach Holes anymore.
Party time!
It's rough.
Yeah, you're not missing much by not playing this one. Weird how they added a bracket at the end. Hey, I hit it even. Battle 4. Okay.
But we did battle 1, I think.
All right. We can do battle
The
4.
hip hop battle.
Hit me.
I don't remember what battle 4 was.
Oops. I don't understand why there's so many bugs in here. It's like there's a window open, but I don't think there is. The window's probably open.
Hit center.
Battle Modo.
Because we did battle 1 with hip hop. Then there was disco, techno, hardcore. Hardcore. What did we do? Oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
Look at that crowd of people. So clearly.
It's party time.
Why is mine so much faster than yours?
I don't know.
Again, it like only gave me the speed mod. That might be some bug.
Doing terrible this time.
Those battle modes of these things.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm just spamming.
Oh god.
Definitely don't follow the beat.
I thought you did a lot more steps than that.
No, they weren't on beat.
That's good that time.
That's a clusterfuck.
Well, he beat me that time.
It's hard when nothing is synced to the music properly.
Right?
It's like some of those where you're like, oh, I thought you had a bunch of steps. I did. Just none of them were on sync, so I didn't count them. Or they were on sync, so I didn't count them.
You love how brackets are like a tech found by players and then implemented by Andamira. Yeah, there's a lot of things in here that, like, from the very beginning.
Had speed mods,
Yep.
had brackets.
No freeze arrows, though. I haven't seen any of those. Or
Did
holds.
DDR have doubles mode from the get-go?
I was just thinking that myself. I don't remember.
Okay, this has doubles right off the bat.
Yeah. Easy mode and put the rap act 1 and what you do.
Party time.
Yeah, because there are different songs, I think, on the different modes.
Have a good night, Nehuen. Alright, let's see.
Hit me.
Try
Easy.
some baby steps.
Baby step.
I could go for some baby steps. I think we only played one round of this.
We did. The rap.
That's it. I'm not gonna put a theme on it.
Okay.
2-dot. It is only 90 BPM though, so see how that does. Rap 2.
This is so good.
Oh, this is slow.
It's party time!
지금까지 우리 모두 수만 가지 모습의 혼동된 걸빵집 방했었지 그리고 앞으로 나나 너나 나나 모두 똑똑하겠지 하지만 그렇게 살지 않기 위해 한 가지 색깔만 바라봐야 해 바라봐야 해 너네 같은 우갈데 없는 이들이여 내게로 오라 나 주라 내게로 오라 지금 날 보고 있는 이들 모두 같이 너같이 여기에서 외쳐 주라 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 주라
이제 후회하시게 다짐도 또한 진실이 없어 믿음도 있을 수 없다 너희들은 지금까지 말도 안 되는 믿음 그 속에 빠져 있었던 너
It like
Yeah, I'm at multiple times now. I'm also noticing when they come in at the bottom, they
Yeah.
come in and then spread out.
that's my monitor.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was your monitor or if that's how the game was loading.
No.
It's
It's crunched down at the bottom. The geometry on this monitor is a little off because
Yeah, and I
it's,
can see it's curved a little bit on the
Yeah.
side, too.
and then I want you, right? Or what you do. Which one is what you do? Not that one. Not that one. I assume it's this one. This is the only one I don't want.
This is on the third one. Ah, Drunken Tiger. They had some stuff in later versions too.
The chassis for this monitor broke,
Oh.
and I sent it out to be repaired. And
party
then the guy disappeared off the face of the earth. So I don't have it anymore. So I got the chassis for a monitor that is similar, but not exactly the same. So it's not I was thinking that on the last song until the end. Maybe they assumed that everybody would be playing easy in the beginning, and so that's the only part that they polished. And they figured they'd have a second out before anybody would graduate to the harder stuff.
Except from what I understand, they all going forward to a bunch of versions.
Yeah, that chart didn't feel like it made any sense at the end of that either.
No. They very obviously didn't really know what they were doing with this chart.
Yeah, I know.
Final is what you can do. Okay.
Still bad until PS, way better than Fork Speed, yeah.
Well, which one of these is it? These were all in our hard.
This is the hard stuff. Yeah, this is the first group of hard. Oh, shit. What do you really want? No, that wasn't one. Well, I don't know if one of the other ones will let you.
Party time!
But I do know that it was party time.
that chart, it felt good.
Yeah. Made sense, and it was actually synced pretty good.
Yeah, I know you can.
Non-stop remix turbo. All right.
Hit me, hit me.
Try putting in code. Mix 4, non-stop remix, turbo remix.
It's party time.
Honestly, not exactly sure how they're doing that. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure how they were doing that background, honestly.
Yeah, but it looked like there were still sprites popping in and out too. So I wonder if that was something with the actually using the 3D of the Voodoo.
They might be using the Voodoo, yeah,
specifically
to render out the tunnel thing.
It looked like one texture just
yeah
copied around on a tunnel. But then, like I said, there were definitely sprites that were just like popping in.
It's party time.
All right. How long have we been on? Longer than I expected, honestly. 2.5, a little over 2.5.
So I am running out of steam. I'm coming up on passing 20 hours.
Oh, being awake.
Being awake at this point.
Double mode, funky tonight. Okay.
You wanna?
Sure, I'll do a double, and then I think I'm gonna quit for tonight too, because I'm getting tired.
Hit
I guess I didn't need to start too. I'm stupid. Apparently it just takes twice to run outside.
Right. Oh wait, no, not middle.
How does this game work? I don't know.
How I do control.
My shoes are so much more grippy than
Party time!
I know.
Oh, do you want a funky music? Everybody funky music. Tonight is the night. Funky music is the night. Oh, do you want a funky music? Everybody funky music.
this at least feels safe.
Original freestyle song.
Strangely enough, I never really did freestyle to that particular one. I mean, I did a little bit, but not.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Like here, I didn't use it as a for any competitions. I don't think
It was not one that I did much of.
I'm kind of starting to wonder if it's maybe just hard mode that is perfectly off sync. Because every other mode we played has been breathe and amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Whereas like everything in hard mode is just god awful.
Yeah, there's been like one song that
It's party
everything else
time!
has been an absolute.
They were like, well, this isn't hard enough, so let's just rethink it on purpose a little bit.
사나이 가는 길에 기죽지 마라 어서 너 자존심만 지키면 눈물 따윈 내게 없을 거야 그저 안녕이란 말하고 쓰린 눈물을 삼키면 yeah 그냥 두고 돌아섰던 마지막 뒷모습 내가 봐도 멋있었어 봄에 살고 봄에 죽는 나인데 그대와 우짜하게 붙잡을 수 없잖아 맨몸으로 부딪혔던 내 삶에 끝까지 이별쯤은 괜찮아
God, it is so messed up. I can't even. All right. Don't forget to get S. Yeah. Yes. I forgot. I guess since I don't think there's any sound on this title screen. We maybe could have left the sound on and then just left it
on there.
here. Yeah. Oh well.
More recognizable freestyle songs probably don't bother me. Yeah.
Yeah. We Are. Oh, I love We Are. That's a great one. Amber, hello.
Is that I feel like Funky Tonight was like one of the early ones though, because it was on, or
Right.
it was from the original mix.
Right.
And like I said, they took it off briefly, but then they put it back on, and it was on for a long time.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm probably going to be done for tonight. It's been
I'm gassed.
it's
I'm done.
it's been a long day, and also it's super hot down here, and
Well, it's just been humid out lately too, so everything's like even in here.
and the game is interesting but not really fun. It's kind of frustrating because
Yeah.
it's so desynced.
It'll be interesting to see how long it takes to get to one that actually starts becoming fun.
Yeah. But I was thinking about doing
I would say, like, see, it would be interesting to see if Second Dance Floor is any different or any improved, or if it's just like, here's some more stuff in the same thing.
right.
Like I said, OBG definitely had some different, it was a little bit different, because event mode was different. You could actually go through and just, you'd start, choose any song in the game, any chart, and then go back. So, which
Yeah.
makes for a lot easier stream, because then you can just literally just go through one after another.
This feels very beta.
Yeah. From what I've read, like, there's not a whole lot of information out there about first and second, as far as like their arcade placement and like how well they were, like how they were placed and how circulated. But in general, that seems to be partially because they weren't that well. Like, I mean, like I said, they didn't have an international version, and it seemed to be like, here's first, and then here's second, and then, okay, here's OBG that actually, like, let's start actually making progress on it. And, like, OBG is where traditionally, from what I've read, is it starts getting a little more information about the game out there, and more people are recognize it.
Yeah,
From
Shrimp
there
says
on.
it gets better on second. Arif says OBG is where it starts getting better.
But, I mean, you had a credit. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if second was basically a slightly refined one.
Well, I
First
mean,
was a
if you
little-
remember, honestly, I haven't played. Put it in something to let it. Well, wait, it won't fail out because we have stage break on. I mean, it'll fail, but it won't fail mid-song. Oh, it's one of those.
Can't go out to menu.
Yeah.
Feature added later. Okay, there we go.
Hit me!
Just don't. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you could just leave it there. And it wouldn't say it's party time.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, so to be honest, like I don't think I've actually played DDR first mix. I've played 1.5. So even they, like, first mix, I don't think, I think it was out weeks.
Yeah. Well, because back then, if you wanted to update anything, you just released a new one. So.
Right. So, I wouldn't be surprised if first is similarly a little wonky, but probably a little more polished than this.
Yeah.
It's party time!
It's party
And then
time.
after second, you can play the OBG.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna play second tonight.
No,
I'll,
God, no.
I'll try and do it next stream, but I'm too tired and too hot, and I'm ready to be done. We got this one went so I didn't get this one started until a lot later than I wanted to, but it seems to
That's
be
it. I mean, the game, for the first release, it runs pretty decent. Like, for what it is for the very first release, it's not terrible. Like, it runs okay. It's got a lot of think issues. But overall, like, I mean, it's runs at 60 FPS. It's got speed mod options. Like,
I mean, it's technically proficient, and it has a decent number of features.
it's just the core
But I would
function
argue
of the game
Yeah.
is kind of broken.
I would argue that the desync makes it practically unplayable.
Yeah.
So
It's
Well, and like
party
it seemed to be
time!
okay in what we played in beginner mode, at least for the most part. So, like I said, versus like other early, like dance games and stuff, it's not horrific. It obviously has a lot of issues, but it only crashed on us once.
yeah, so that's something. And glitched. When I get back around to DDR, would I deviate midway through and play the EU Dancing Stage mixes too? So I did play Dancing Stage Fusion before. Arcade, I think I did.
So didn't you
Yeah.
do- you did like the Disney.
Yeah. I mean, the answer to your question
that.
is yes. My intent when I get back around to DDR would be to go like try and start as early as I can, hopefully first mix, but it might be 1.5, and play on up through like play all the 573 mixes. So I will totally I will be
It's
happy
party
to
time!
play the play Euromix and Euromix 2 like where they are in the sequence. I wouldn't mind playing some of the weird Japanese releases like True Kiss Destination, Dreams Come True. I would probably play DDR USA just for shits and giggles. But yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. But like I said before, it's going to be a while before I get back around to DDR. So second Dance Floor is only released like 6 months after the first. Yeah. Well, both games were going super fast
Yeah.
in the beginning. Because
The
if you
first
think
few
about
years on all of the Monty stuff, like all the other
yeah,
games.
well, if you think about like DDR, first mix was 1998, and fifth mix was style of 2001.
Yeah.
Like that was the tagline of it. So 9, 10, 11. So in 3 years they were already up to fifth mix.
So that
It's
was the
party
early ones.
time!
They were doing. I think they were both doing like 6 month release schedules. For a lot
Yeah.
of those.
Plus, not only that, there was third mix plus, there was fourth mix plus, and then like second mix link version, and
Well, like I said, like the other stuff, like Beatmania and stuff like that, they were just pumping them out too.
Yeah.
It's just. But I mean, that was back into the '90s, early 2000s, especially in Japan. The arcade scene was popping like crazy still at that point. So
yep.
they probably had the market that they were just able to keep punching them out and keep selling them.
So yeah, DDR USA holds a pretty special place in my heart, even though it's pretty small, certainly by modern standards. I would say like it wasn't my first mix, but when like I was saying before, I think I played first or US 1.5 it in like September of 2000, and then when I came back in January of 2001 to the GameWorks in Indianapolis, it was DDR USA, and me and a group of people, we played the shit out of USA until the summer,
It's party
Like-
time!
because that's all we had. They eventually got a third mix machine in addition there, but yeah, I mean, we played, I think it's 36 songs in USA, and yeah, we wore holes in that CD. Not literally, obviously, but yeah. And Disney's Rave is pretty fun too. I agree. If a dedicated group of people reverse engineer the game and fix the sync, it would be nice. Yeah, although to be honest, I think it's more interesting because I don't think there's any songs in this that don't show up again later.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough to know all of it.
So
Okay, so this first released, according to the Wikipedia, September 20th of 1999.
okay,
And then second came out December 27th, 1999.
October, November, so 3 months.
3 months.
That's crazy.
And then, okay, the fusion with a PC game.
party
in
time!
99. OBG came out the 7th of May 2000, so 5 months,
Yeah.
barely 5 months later.
They were just churning them out.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise though. But
And then OBG, the Season Evolution Dance Floor, came out September of 2000. The Collection, November of 2000. Perfect Collection in December of 2000.
crazy.
And then Pump It Up Extra in January of 2001. So that's in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in
A year.
a year and a half? Or, 2 years there? Yeah, like less than a year and a half, basically, for arcade versions. And Premiere. Pump It Up the Evolutionary Dance Floor was a PC exclusive to North America. Then the Prex was the international dance floor. The Premiere was Premiere. Okay,
It's
sorry.
party
Yeah, Premiere
time!
was the first international mix, and then they had Prex.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought Prex was Korea. Yeah.
Prex was still international dance floor. It says.
Oh, was it?
I think it was Premiere Extra. That was it. Pre-X. Because they did 3 premieres and then they had 3 Prexes that followed them. It Pump It Up the Rebirth 8th Dance Floor was a Korea exclusive. Then you had Premiere 2 International second. Prex 2 came after that. Premiere 3 International third. Prex 3 was the international fourth. Then Exceed was 5th. And then from there on, So yeah.
So much stuff.
So yeah, by the time the Premiere 2, the international second dance floor came out, the 8th dance floor had been released in Korea. And that was in 2002. So 8 games within 3 years.
Well, I remember that's how we ended up playing Pump because
It's party time!
DDR Extreme came out at the end of 02, although we didn't get it until 03 here.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get anything until Supernova, which was like 05, I think, right?
Was it 05 or 06?
It was
I
like
think it was 06 at least.
it was 2 or 3 years between Extreme
Yeah.
and Supernova, during which I know I was sick of it. I was just sick of Extreme. And
Yeah, and you had the other option was In the Groove.
right, which not my fave, but and then then Excite got that Exceed 2 cabinet, and it was like, hey, this is different. Let's do
The
this.
new game,
Yeah,
all the content's brand new to you.
it was new to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't new, but it's okay. All right. Anyway, they literally put out a minimum viable product. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it is kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the way it goes when you're doing something like brand new.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, obviously, like, arcade games have been around some time, and, like, but you look at, like,
It's
the other
party
companies that
time!
were releasing, these polished, finished games that have been doing it for a long time and had big development teams and stuff versus here's a whole new concept from a basically new entry into the market company.
Well, so I don't know Andamiro's history.
Yeah, true. I
Prior
don't really
to
either.
to 99, but also one thing I will say is even like historically, Pump It Up is an oddball in their lineup
Yeah.
because it's like they're all redemption games, and then there's Pump It Up.
Then like Konami obviously had been around a long time, but then like their
Sure.
Bimani division where they're like, now we're going to do a bunch of rhythm games. Here's a whole division for it. Well, let's make things out of it. And they were just like, let's try this game and this game and this game, and we're going to make this one and we're going to do this. That doesn't work. Get rid of it.
Yeah, man, they tried so many different controls and styles and whatever. But okay, I think that's enough. That's enough chit chat from me, and I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight. Thanks
It's
for joining
party
me.
time!
I'll be back before too long, and hopefully we'll do a second. But until then, hope you all have a good night, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.